lava lamp is off.
It is. We need to fix that so it's a little bit easier to turn on.
Yeah.
Well, you need low voltage trigger. Alexa, turn on lava lamp.
It looks really boring to look at right now.
It's kind of just like a ball sack hanging from the
Doing
top.
nothing.
Good Lord, your ball sack looks like that.
Get screwed up.
Something about lava lamps when you first turn them on. They're just so...
Oh, just one side. Just
Uneventful.
one nut worth.
Jeez. All right, well, look, it's the first half. It is freaking the middle of July.
It is.
It is.
Beware the Ides of July. Oh, my Lord. I can't get anything to work. Screw it. So, we got a special guest today. We got a jam-packed Dudes Like Us podcast. We're so excited. We took a week off. I think Paul went to Colorado, right?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. And while he was gone, while the cat's away, the might as well play. And we did that. We did a couple of events without Paul, and it was
Typical.
It was difficult. We went through it.
A couple of events?
Really. It was difficult for you to do it without me, huh?
Yeah,
It was. I felt empty.
We
It
tried to
felt
wait
empty.
for you, but you just left the day too late.
It was difficult only because you were barraging me with pictures of what I was missing.
We wanted to share with you the wonderful experience that we were having.
Yes.
It was. It was nice. I've never been to this. We'll talk about it. I guess we talk about it right now if you want.
Well, check us out on Facebook or Instagram. It's Dudes Like Us -podcast or Dudes Like Us -woodcraft. You know what? We got special guests. Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I am Jeff.
And I'm the special guest. I'm Larry.
There.
Yes.
Is your
You go.
microphone working good for you?
It seems to be.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Seems a little low. It's kind of aiming at your boobie.
How's that?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Are you
There you go.
pleased
Yeah.
now?
Well, one of our pod was kind of Paul was. We got to start working on our microphone etiquette. We can't hear us. I can't be talking over here. Hey guys.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yep. I said it didn't. No, I barely heard you. Right there, right there.
Yeah, right there in the middle.
Yeah, right there in the middle. So this is not your first time on the podcast.
It is not. I'm thinking this is number 4,
Is it
5,
three? Is it? Wow, that many times?
4, at least
think
I
it
was
was
thinking. I
four.
was thinking the third time, but excellent.
No, I think
No.
this is number 4.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Regardless, I mean, you were one of the pioneers when we were doing this from 5 years ago.
Well, he was the first guest, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
I was back. We had the big ivory green. Was it green? The big old couch that was in here.
No, we never had that in here.
What?
The big green couch?
We had a big ass couch. What color was it? Big sectional?
It wasn't in here when we were doing the podcast.
No, we had it in here.
There's no way. That took up the entire room.
Yes, I have a picture of Austin sitting here,
Oh, I think you're right.
and he had the X32 almost in his God-blessed lap.
You are correct. It was a burgundy. I forgot about that. He was sitting on it and it was sitting next to him.
And that was back when we hadn't hit the big time yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Now look at us.
We're like
We are huge.
We're like 15 listeners now.
Wow. Man, that's 800% increase in listenership.
Well, thanks, Mom and Dad, and all my relatives on the East Coast. Yeah, well, it's exciting. We got a lot of good topics coming up. Larry, you've got something. I don't even know if we talked about this last time, but you're retired.
I am a retired gentleman. Yes, that's true.
And I was like,
Oh, wow.
hey, we got some job opportunities here. And you were like,
No.
fuck no. I think it wasn't just no. I think there was a word in front of that.
As of the first of this year, that's right. And I got to tell you, boys, it is greatness.
Yes. It is so great.
That's not fair.
I'm about 60% there, maybe 70% there.
Wow.
Almost there.
Well,
Because I'm out of the corporate world, so I consider myself semi-retired. I'm done with corporate. So I'm driving special needs kids on school buses now.
well, nice.
So I
Very
I
civic.
consider myself retired from corporate, put it that way.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's a career change for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I've made some interesting observations now that I'm a retired gentleman, if I may.
Please.
No more booby bars?
Those ramp up.
More of those,
Come on.
right?
As retirement was approaching, like anybody does, I started thinking about it. Like, what am I going to do when I'm retired?
Were you freaking out a little bit? Kind of
Because-
the empty feeling or scared feeling?
I don't know that I was
anxiety.
I don't know that I was freaking out, but I was just wondering what is it going to be like? Because for 40 years,
Yep.
you are trained to get up, go to work, come home. Get up, go to work, come home.
Yep.
For 40 years.
I know.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, is that a hard habit to break for doing that for so long?
Ooh,
Son,
good song.
I can tell you it is not a hard habit to break. I do not miss working one bit.
That's hilarious.
Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed my career. Sean and I worked together at a company a few years ago as adjusters. It was a career that suited me. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit inside, a little bit outside. Traveled all over the place looking at different storms and things like this. It was a good career. I enjoyed it.
Right.
But I am so done. I do not miss working one.
So what do you
bit.
find yourself doing? Is it always unscheduled, unplanned, or do
Crossword
you...
puzzles.
You know,
Whatever he wants.
Hide the meat
that's
stick.
exactly my answer.
No, I mean really.
Yes.
So is your day just kind of whatever comes to you that day, or is there any plan at all?
Another observation that I have made is, when you're working and, maybe on Tuesday I have a meeting with somebody, and then on Wednesday I have this call that I have to make, and then I have this on Thursday, and blah, 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 blah. So you have all of these appointments in mind that you have in your brain, and you got to make them. And I don't know about you guys, but with me, that would always be a source of a certain level of anxiety.
Yeah.
You're afraid you're going to forget it, or you're going to miss it, or
Always in the
something
back
happens.
of your mind.
But
right.
Right.
you can't miss that appointment because it's important.
Right.
Well, when not working, of course, now I don't have these appointments or inspections or meetings or any of that stuff.
Blood pressure's great now.
Now it's stupid stuff like an appointment to come here this evening to meet with you guys.
Oh, that's really stupid.
An appointment to go to the doctor, or a lunch date with somebody. But
Right.
the funny thing is, it seems as though the level of anxiety with those appointments, whether it's a work meeting or a Zoom call or something, that this is so dumb, but that level of anxiety is still the same.
The same.
With the doctor's appointment and going
Right.
to this
On
and going
Wednesday,
to
the
that.
tree trimmer's coming.
I got to go get a haircut.
I got to make sure that I'm home for the tree trimmer.
I'm getting my toenails painted.
And it's stupid stuff. I got to take the dog to the groomer.
But
And-
it's, like you said, it's just as anxious.
And I don't mean to imply that it's like a very high level of anxiety. It's not. It's
the bar's just dropped.
yeah, it's like at about a 3 maybe, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
But these stupid appointments that I have to do the doctor and take the dog to the groomer and things like that, that level of anxiety is still there with those silly
I
appointments.
almost see it as, because I was not working all last year, I almost saw it as an inconvenience.
To have to do something
To
somewhere.
do something that I didn't want to do. So I'd have these appointments, or my wife would be like, hey, you need to go do this, do that. I saw it as an inconvenience because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. Whether that was look for a job or go work out in the garage on some wood stuff or do whatever the hell I wanted. And you asked, I was like, is your day planned out? No, I never had a planned day. Whatever came to me that day, whatever I wanted to do, I did.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll always be that way, but I know last year that's the way it was.
It's interesting. You called it anxiety and stress. I always try to steer away from those two words, because my wife was like, what are you so stressed about? I'm like, I'm not really stressed. It's just intensity. It's an intensity. It's not a stress. Because, I think of stress, it's like, oh my God, we're going to die.
No,
Or anxiety is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It isn't that. It's like, okay, it's an intensity. I've got to get this done. I've got to get that done. I got to get that done before I get that done. So it isn't like a negative thing. It's just you know what I mean? It's like a keep the ball moving, right?
I see
the
when
train
you-
is rolling.
I see when you retire, Paul, you're going to have a list every day.
I am. I'm a list guy,
But-
and I feel so accomplished when I am productive.
But when you have 200 days in a row of that list gets worked.
Right, and then you
what,
have nothing.
What happens after that is what I think is a question, because you're like, all right, I've done this list. I've gone back and done it 3 more times. Now what am I going to do? That's what I was starting to struggle with. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I've done this. Done this. Now what? Right?
I
Now,
think I just get more granular. Like I saw an ant on the driveway. I'm going to go get him. I'm going to sit out and wait for that ant.
Wait for him to come back out.
Come back out.
And I
I've
think-
got my magnifying glass
and I-
ready to go, man.
And I think that's where some folks have trouble retiring, because in the beginning you're like, okay, I've got all this stuff I can do. Boom, boom, boom. Well, now they're all complete. I'm 3 months into this. Now what?
What now?
Right?
Well, then you start watching The View.
Oh God. So right.
Is that correct, Larry? Is that what you're doing?
Any
Watching The View?
any TV watching?
The news. I watch a lot of news. Yeah.
Yeah, just constant.
Another thing that I've noticed, remember, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, maybe you run into an old friend of yours that's a retired person. You go, well, hey, what have you been doing? And the old person would say, oh, gosh, I am so busy.
Is your friend gay?
I am so busy now. I have to go to the pharmacy. I have to stop at my sister's house. I have to do this.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
all of these kind of mundane sounding things. And 10 years ago, you're kind of comparing his quote unquote busy to your real life busy of the stresses of your job and responsibilities. Right. And you're thinking to yourself, dude, you ain't busy.
Yeah, it's like, seriously, this is what you have to deal with?
I had to fold my socks.
Okay, so I am now that old
guy. There you go.
I'm that guy
and
now.
by the way, it's going to get worse.
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm so busy. I have to go to the grocery store. I got to go to the post office.
And I think that's important, though. I think it will increase the longevity of your life.
Yes.
Your daily.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was getting at. I was like, you need to find something to fill the time. Otherwise, you're just going to sit on the sofa staring at the TV watching The View.
Yeah, you got to be engaged. You got to keep your brain engaged.
Correct. And, I know when my parents retired, my dad specifically, his was fixing his house, right? He moved out. He had a couple acres. So his job, what he turned into was basically a big-ass landscaper around his house. It took him years to do that.
Well, I mean,
stuff.
that's like a hobby, right?
Yeah.
People do gardening and people do...
He finally got the moat completed with the drawbridge.
He did. He installed all kinds of like drip lines and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
So it took him years and eventually and taking care of my mom for one thing. And then it was done. And then I don't know what he did after that.
What about...
Shoveled snow.
Yeah.
For the neighbors.
Yeah. So what about visiting art galleries or museums or you go to sporting events? I mean, do you find yourself doing more getting out and about, or are they just really mundane, everyday tasks?
To that point, used to be I would work for the weekends, right? Because that's when you would go. That's when you would go out and do stuff.
It's your free time
on Friday nights, Saturdays, maybe Sundays. Well, now weekends mean nothing.
Right.
Okay.
It's always a weekend.
So if you want to stay out till 3:00 in the morning on a Tuesday, cool, let's do it. But my bedtime really is 9:00, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah. You can talk. You're talking all sorts of shit over there, Larry. The reality is you're asleep by 8:30, probably.
But that's all right. You're up for a certain amount of time, especially in the state of Texas, as hot as it is in the summer. God bless. Go to bed early.
Yeah.
But my point is, now the wife and I are free to jump in the car on Wednesday and go someplace for 2 days if we want to, and we have.
Yeah. But no local visits and stuff. You know what I mean? Like going around town and seeing this and seeing that stuff you never got to see before.
Like the Perot Museum.
Yeah.
I went to the National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington on Sunday.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
What's that all about? Then
How long were you there?
I didn't even know that was out there.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It's kind of new. It's less than a year. It's over by the stadiums.
So it's a biography of every single recipient?
Actually, a prior work colleague of mine that lives in New Jersey, he contacted me some weeks ago and said that he was coming to Dallas for some meeting or something, and he wanted to, he was going to fly in on Sunday morning, and we agreed I was going to pick him up at the airport at DFW. We would go get a hamburger someplace, and then go to this museum. And actually, it was his idea. I guess he'd saw it on the news or something.
Okay.
And we got our tickets, which are $30.
Is that a lot?
I thought that was kind of high.
That seems kind of high for.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you look at the facility, it's really nice. They got to pay for that shit, right?
So the Sunday, it was last Sunday, and I texted him in the morning. I said, okay, today's the day. And he texted me back and he goes, well, I got bad news. My flight is delayed 5 hours because of mechanical issues. Now my landing time is 4:30 p.m. and the museum closes at 5, so he was not able to go.
Right.
As I said, we had already bought these tickets online, so he sent me his e-ticket. He said, give this to somebody if you can find somebody. I asked my wife if she wanted to go, and she's like, I am a hard no.
I'd rather stick needles in my eyes.
I have no interest in this whatsoever. So I contacted a handful of other guys, Sean being one of them. He wasn't able to go, and nobody could go on the short notice. So I went by myself.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It takes a special person to be able to do stuff like that. Go by yourself and enjoy eating by yourself. That's good. It's confidence.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
I kind of actually liked going to this museum by myself because
You could spend as much time as you wanted to.
I could wander around and go see what I wanted to see. And,
Are you like Jeff?
and
You like to
linger
fart
and
around
not have to
people?
wait for some
yeah.
other hanger
You
on.
could even go out of order.
I was there for 2.5 hours.
Oh, damn.
2.5 hours.
Very nice.
What's a normal time?
I don't know. I've never been there before. A couple hours, I guess.
I mean, because you and I were in Alabama for our jobs, and we decided to rendezvous at the USS Alabama.
That
out
was
there
so fun.
in the bay. And
Right.
I want to say we were there 4 to 5 hours.
It was a long time.
We were there for a very long time, and it was probably one of the funnest things I've done in a very, very long time.
That was
Yeah,
very, very interesting. That was very
It's easy to do.
Oh, yeah.
From the museum outside the ship,
Yeah.
walking, seeing all the MASH style cars from the shows, and the vehicles, the tanks, the airplanes, and then the airplanes by themselves, you can't fathom how big these things
I
are.
know, they're
It's
awesome.
just like, holy crap, that thing's huge. And you go up to its nose and you take your finger and you put it right on the pointy and it's sharp.
Oh no, you don't touch the aircraft.
Man, and they got the missiles that are on there that were, Larry kept trying to jar one loose. I don't know what the story was.
There was a submarine that we went in.
a sub-freaking marine. The workmanship that occurred in the 40s. The workmanship
Like
that
all
occurred,
all the little rivets everywhere.
it was amazing.
Rosie did it.
It was,
Rosie the Riveter.
I'm telling you, man, I was in awe. The technology they used back there, they made shit work.
oh, yeah, they
And
did.
they were the boat itself, when you get onto it, the projectiles that they shoot across from,
Gigantic.
oh my God, they're 4 foot tall, and they show these guys
The torpedoes?
the projectiles that fit in the big cannons.
The battleship.
Oh, the battleship.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but even the torpedoes, they
Right.
weren't as massive. I mean, actually, they were big vessels, but they weren't they were just different. They're designed to go through the wall.
Well, I always found it impressive when you see this film of these battleships just shooting their cannons at the island or whatever they're shooting, and I couldn't imagine being on that ship.
Didn't it rock the ship every time the battleships would fire? It would
I would imagine. I don't care how good your sound dampening headgear is. That's going to destroy your ears.
most of those guys
you
were,
don't think
were
those little
deaf.
earplugs? Were,
You just went
Yeah.
like this, stuck your finger in your ears.
So the boat itself, when they would fire those cannons off, they would, when the boat is traveling and it's from point A to point whatever,
B.
trying to go in a straight line, when those cannons fire, they veer the
Yeah.
boat off course.
that's
so
what I'm saying. I
what
mean,
they have to do is they get a blank and put it on the opposite side, because when they fire one, they fire another at the same time to create that reverse effect. So they fire them in different directions. There's a blank on this side, but there's a real one on this side, and just the whole turret itself is like 3 stories. It's amazing.
massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The first story, they're loading these large pucks. When I say large pucks, imagine a wheel of cheese. That's
gunpowder.
just
Yeah.
of gunpowder. And how far do we want to take it? This one needs to go about 22 miles. It's going to take about 2.25 pucks. You got some guy over there. He's working it out. He's doing the math real quick. And then you got this guy that's shaped like a gnome that's 4 foot from the ring of, what is that movie? The Lord of the Rings. And he's got this projectile, and it's the size that he is. He's got it by the top, and he's spinning this thing, and he's rolling it. This guy was massive. It's a floating city.
I remember when you
Yes.
and I were touring that thing with, you and me in our modern computer age minds. We were trying to, go back into a 1940s mind. No computer, right? It's slide rules and blueprints, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you and I were astonished. How in the world were they able to engineer something as magnificent
I think
as this?
They were
I
smart
think we
dudes.
talk about this thing when we even talk about ancient civilizations.
Aliens?
They're like
Oh.
aliens.
Mhm.
Ancient civilizations are like, well, how did they build this? I mean, they were smart people back then too.
They were smart
You
people.
know, the pyramids, the people who built the shit way back then, they were extremely smart and they had techniques that
Yeah.
have been potentially lost, but they had their ways.
And since then, it's like the movie Idiocracy.
It is.
Yeah.
You know,
It
Kick me
is.
in the balls.
We
It's
become
embarrassing.
We become stupid.
Well, it's because they dumb things down, though, the way they and this is done by design. It's not. It's two things. I don't know if it's done by design to keep us dumb, but they try to make things easier. It's kind of like repairing a Xerox photocopy machine. I'm going to use this as an example from the 80s. They were like, oh, you got to go in there and you got to fix this one little part. And then you have to have a specialized person go in there and figure out what that part is. Nowadays, it's kind of like, it's in this region. And they're like, oh, that's region 5. And they take the whole region 5 out and they put a whole new region 5 in, and then they leave. Done. It works. So that way they don't have to have somebody go in there and tinker it. Then they take that module back to the office and they have someone smart look at it.
It's
just
fast repair. Yeah.
It's done. People just aren't. They don't put people like that. They don't have the education. Like Jeff, your dad, he gave you. You got these books out there for calculations.
Right.
We have smart scientific calculators that do those calculations now
Right.
by the click of a button. But those books out there and the what is the little God bless it
Slide
thing.
rule.
There's a slide rule, but I'm thinking of the little Chinese
Abacus?
the abacus style. It was just rudimentary. It was old school. It was a floating city. Dentist, doctor's office,
Huge kitchen, dining, galley, whatever they call
You
it.
should go visit one of the, if you think that's big, go visit one of the aircraft carriers. They're
Oh,
like
man, I'll
4
take-
times that size.
I will
That's
take
crazy.
all day to do that.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
the technology room, the communications room.
They
It's
had all these
insane.
transistor tubes.
Dude, it is insane because you got to imagine if you're in the front of the ship and you've got a gun pointed at something, there are several 1/4-inch plugs, all right? And they're 3-conductor, meaning that you got a microphone and headphones. So you can hear someone talking to you and you have a voice going out.
Right.
So they've got those wires that are running a half a mile to the center of that ship where you've got the person up there, the operator, that takes another plug and connects you to the captain or whoever's coordinating it to tell you where to shoot.
Right.
Well, even think about the old telephone lines where you had the operators
Yep.
changing all the
Same
fucking
deal.
plugs.
Yep.
That was even farther distance, and you had these huge banks of plugs that you were.
The rooms are super hot. Then you got like Betty in the corner. She's like, hey, did you hear about Joseph? I was overhearing the phone call. He's messing around with his wife again. Those old operators, they get to eavesdrop on all the
So
phone
to
calls.
the
Oh, yeah.
so to the listeners who are listening, if you happen to be driving through Mobile, Alabama, and you have about 4 or 5 hours to kill, do stop by the Battleship Alabama and have a look. It was less than $30, I think, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
way less than that. It was a terrific time.
It was
and
a good time.
And I think we ended it by going to the All Apex, All Tech. What is there's the oyster restaurant?
After your tour of the Battleship Alabama, do go to the Acme Oyster
There
Bar.
you go.
Acme.
Right down
Right.
from
With Wile E. Coyote.
What was that? Zulus or Zanies or someplace there on that canal.
Felix's Camp House fish stop. I don't remember.
Be sure and get a dozen broiled oysters. You'll be glad you did.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you another museum I think everyone should go to is the Air Force Museum at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. You talked about airplanes seeing on the ships and stuff like that. The museum in Wright-Pat, it's the U.S. Air Force Museum. They take you from the Wright brothers all the way to space, and they have the actual planes there. They have, I think, 3 or 4
Do you get to fly them?
humongous, all of them.
You can fly all of them.
Where's this?
And it's in Dayton, Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Nice.
And it's free. Doesn't cost a dime to get in there, and you could spend easily 2 full days in there. Easy.
That's what I think people don't realize, that they think maybe a couple hours.
No.
Same thing happened to me when I went to the Pacific War Museum, the Nimitz one in Fredericksburg.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome. And I walked in, and there was a very nice, veteran that was greeting people. How much time do you have? And I was like, I think we got 2 hours. And he goes, well, this is a 2-day museum.
No.
Just like, and he goes, since you're only going to be here 2 hours, he had a map already drawn out for the people that are like
Losers.
Yeah, seriously. Because I had no idea.
Non-committers.
I was like, what do you need to do? 2 hours should be plenty. 2 days is what it takes to go through the whole thing if you're going to do it right.
Have you guys been to the World War II Museum in New Orleans?
Not yet.
No.
Want to do it.
That would be awesome.
That one is really good.
These are things
You gotta
that
do, man.
I would love to go. So, Larry, if you want to spearhead a campaign to go do something like that, we could pick it a day out of the week. We'll put it on the calendar, and collectively, we'll make our calendars work and do that.
Larry's pretty busy.
You know what's kind of cool about this is they have Air Force One there, the one that LBJ flew on back from the Kennedy assassination.
No way.
So you get that's it right there. He had a picture of it. You get to walk through it, and
that's the plane where he was sworn in as president.
Correct. And they show you where he was. They have stuff kind of plexiglassed off the seats and stuff like that.
So, like some hail
And
exposure on there.
Wasn't Jackie Onassis there with
blood on her?
Still on her dress?
I think they have signs. Jackie was sitting here. LBJ was here.
Unbelievable.
And they have different things like that. But that's really cool. You walk in one end and you go out the other, and it's not big. It's not like today's Air Force One, right?
Sure.
It's pretty small and tight and cramped in there. It's still nice for the time, but
Sure.
very cool. And they have a Valkyrie there, and they only made 2.
Valkyrie?
The Valkyrie. And it is tremendously large jet. And they have one, it takes up almost the entire fucking hangar. And it's huge.
It's like a military cargo plane?
No.
What is it?
It's my dad was telling me about it. That's it right there, the XB-70 Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah, that's not a cargo plane.
No, and
what the hell is that thing?
look how wide that thing is. Anyway, there it is.
Is it a bomber?
I don't know. They made 2. One of them crashed, and then they parked the other one at the Air Force Museum.
It's the planned
It is.
nuclear-armed deep penetration supersonic strategic bomber.
It is a bomber.
But that is very cool to see.
The deep penetrator.
But it never was used in action, of course.
No.
Oh, we never nuclear bombed somebody.
Well, it can drop normal bombs, conventional bombs.
Speaking of, they have Boxcar there, which is the plane that dropped on Nagasaki.
Ooh.
So they also have a Fat Boy and Little Man bomb there. So you could stand next to the atom bombs, so you can see how large they were.
No,
They're
crazy.
huge. They're actually,
and those were
huge.
dropped by the B-52. No, the
I think the B-52.
the big silver nose, right? You know what I'm talking about? It had all the windows. What did it look like?
B-52s. It was a B-52 bomber.
What did it look like, Mr. Producer? The plane that dropped the little boy, and
Well, it was Boxcar. Boxcar did
the Enola Gay. There it is.
Yeah, Enola Gay did the Hiroshima. Boxcar did
B-29.
the Nagasaki,
okay.
and that's actually at the museum right there.
Yeah, the B-52s were these huge bombers that they had these turrets all over it. Those things could fly through anything. They could be shot to hell and still make it.
They still use them.
Yeah,
They're still in use.
They're still
crazy,
in use,
isn't it?
believe it or not. Yes, the B-52.
Some of the technology they have is just
Strato Fortress.
I have a general question about museums for you boys.
Okay, shoot.
And I'll tell you why I'm asking this. At the Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington, Texas, there were displays of, I guess, about 25 guys that had won not won, but had
Awarded.
had earned the Medal of Honor.
Sure.
right.
By the way, there's about 4,000 medalists, and about half of those are Civil War guys. I read about some of these Civil War guys, and a lot of them, they got the Medal of Honor for picking up the flag after the flag bearer got shot and dropped the flag, and the other guy picked it up and continued charging, so he got the Medal of Honor for this. A lot of the World War II guys and Vietnam guys got the Medal of Honor for jumping on live grenades.
Damn.
I think I'd rather pick up the flag, right?
Right. But that was pretty much a death sentence. If you picked up the flag and you were at the front of the line,
Yeah,
and
you're taken out.
Yeah,
Well,
you chose to drop your weapon and do that.
The
Yeah.
Medal of Honor was new then, so
Yeah.
I think the 1800s military kind of gave it out a little more freely than
Oh,
maybe
you're saying
they
they were
did today.
participation awards?
Well, I don't know if I call them that, but that may have been a little easier to obtain back then, is what you're saying, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Or the threshold wasn't as high as it is now.
That's right.
So was that the point you were kind of driving towards? Is it a different criteria back then than it is now?
Well, I mean, I don't
Maybe.
imagine they have
Maybe.
flag.
I don't know
bearers now.
what their criteria was then. I don't know what the criteria is now. I know a bunch of paperwork has to be filled out, but
Sure.
I think it was different when they
Yeah.
first had this medal versus now.
Yeah, I would have to imagine that.
So at this museum,
Yeah.
there was a lot of pictures, photographs of things of interest, and little plaques to read. There was a lot of reading.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
When I go to a museum, I like to see like the real artifact from back when. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I don't want to see a picture
Or
of
at
an
lea- or
artifact.
at least a replica.
I want to see what the real thing was.
Right.
So I was a little disappointed in that. And I don't mean to poo-poo this museum because it's very interesting. So my question is, when you guys go to any kind of a museum, what do you have in your mind that you hope it to be?
Like, I think that's what you said. You want to see a lot of practical stuff to look at. You
Some
know,
fresh popcorn.
when you go to the Air Force Museum, all you look at are planes. There's a lot of reading as well, but they actually have the plane to accompany it that you're going to read about. Or you go to a natural history museum, you see the dinosaurs or the mammoth or the bones and stuff like that to look at. They just don't have a picture of it up there. That's what I think
a
of.
representation where you can touch it, you can get into the seats. Like
Mhm.
at the Alabama thing, I sat down in a gunner seat. Larry laid down on one of the cots, tried to go to sleep in the quarters where the men.
Did you guys happen to step over a velvet rope when you did this?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
They
No,
encouraged
you
it.
can go anywhere.
They're just like,
okay.
Come on,
okay.
Sean, spoon with me. I was like, no. This isn't like the real thing.
They're like, Sarah, can you get off the cot, please?
it
for
was
ex-
amazing, man.
For example, I went to the President George Bush Presidential Library on
Yes.
SMU campus. Have you guys been to this?
I want to go to that too.
It's kind of disappointing because it's not like, okay, something famous happened and here's there's an artifact that's involved with this famous thing.
Yeah.
We don't have it here, but here's a giant picture of it.
Right.
What? I can get this on
Yeah.
Wikipedia. What are you talking
That's,
about?
Sure.
That's kind of a bum deal there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times they have, especially for the World War II stuff, they have the movies, right? You all sit down in a
Yeah.
little theater and they kind of walk through the battle, the Solomons, the Battle of the Solomons or whatever, and they have footage of that kind of shit. So that's cool when they have footage.
That's kind of like going to a bakery and they're going, yeah, we got all these wonderful cakes, and instead of being able to sample a cake, they give you a little scratch and sniff. Here, this is what it could smell like.
This is what
now.
it smells like.
Scratch
All right,
and
well,
sniff.
I downloaded some different
Factoids.
lists of museums. I've downloaded the top 10 in the world, top 10 in the United States, and the top 10 of Texas.
Oh.
I don't think I'm going to go through all the top 10 of the world or Texas. I think what I want to do is for our Dudes Like Us listeners out there all over is kind of point out the top 10 in the United States. Because look, if you know, you know. And we don't know. There's a lot of museums. There's a lot of stuff going on out there that we just don't know. So I'm going to start with the top, the number 10, and I'm going to go down the list. And Mr. Producer, I think you have a copy over there. Number 10 is the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, Merritt Island, Florida.
I've been there.
An exciting destination
Ooh.
for space enthusiasts, offering a glimpse to the world of space exploration. Number 9 is the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Famous for architecture in the Rocky Steps. This museum houses a diverse collection of arts and artifacts. Number 8, Museum of Modern Art in New York City. The MoMA houses a renowned, that's the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA.
Yeah.
It houses a renowned collection of modern and contemporary art, including masterpieces like the Van Gogh's Starry Night. Number 7, the J. Paul Getty Museum in L.A.
Yep.
Number 6, the National World War II Museum in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Is that
Great.
what you were referring
That's
to, right?
so
You
good.
Called that
yeah.
one, yeah.
That just opened not too long ago. I think Tom Hanks was a big push on trying to get that done.
Well, it's been there for about 10 years. It
Yeah.
started off as the Higgins Boat Museum because those landing craft where the front crashes
it
down.
is
Oh,
on the
yeah.
beach.
crazy.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Higgins that built those in New Orleans. So it started as that, but then evolved into the World War II.
Like
So
Magnum PI
horrific.
kind of a thing.
But
Yeah.
there's
Higgins? No.
there's a lot of real life artifacts that
So
you can look at.
Is
Very
New
cool.
Orleans about 5 hours away?
No.
5.5 hours?
No.
Six
It's
hours?
about 8 to 10.
Yeah.
8 to 10?
Yeah.
I forget. All right, so number 5, the American Museum of Natural History in New York City.
I like to go to that one. That's where Night at the Museum takes place with Ben Stiller.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, I would like to go to that one.
Do they
Yes.
come alive at night?
They do.
Explore the wonders
The
of the natural
cavemen.
world from dinosaurs to the cosmos with engaging exhibits and planetarium. I love planetariums. I enjoy
I
planetariums.
just loved that as a kid, man.
Which brings up the cosm that I want to talk about in a little bit. Number 4, the National Gallery of Art in D.C. D.C. hosts many different museums. So that's one of them. The National Gallery of Art.
The Smithsonian.
So when you say art, is it always? I know it's not always paintings, but that's
Sculptures.
that's a big part of it, right? Sculptures and paintings.
Gallery features
What
a
else?
comprehensive collection of paintings,
Clay
sculptures,
pots.
decorative arts, and more displayed in a beautiful setting.
I know sometimes you'll see these traveling things, like you'll have Keith Tut down at the Dallas Art Museum.
Nice. I'd like that one. That'd be cool.
Yeah, he was in town a few years ago, I think, on a tour.
The Titanic thing.
Yeah,
Is
the
that still
Titanic.
going on?
Titanic. Yeah, that still makes the rounds. I don't know if it's still around here locally, but yeah, I remember
That's
that
like
was
the
here.
Steve Martin song. Had a condom made of stoner. King Tut.
Exactly.
What? Do you guys don't remember that song from
Yes.
SNL?
Yeah, we
I
do.
do.
We
Yes,
do.
What's wrong
we
with
do.
you guys?
Oh,
Yes, we
lots.
do.
Where do I start? Number 3, Art Institute of Chicago, Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, celebrated for its impressionist and post-impressionist collection of the Art Institute, also boasts a wide range of art from various periods and cultures.
Okay.
Number 2, the Metropolitan Museum of Arts in New York City,
Yeah.
known as the Met, one of the world's largest and finest art museums.
That is a really great museum. I have been to that. It is
Is that the spiral
enormous.
one?
No. And here's a tip for you guys as well as the listeners. If you happen to go to the Met in New York City, you walk up to the ticket booth,
Mhm.
and there's a sign up there that says suggested price $25 a head. Keyword suggested. So everybody assumes, oh, okay, the entry fee must be $25 for me to get in here.
Right.
The fact is, it's free. Or you can just, if you want to pay $5, you pay $5. You don't have to pay anything.
So you go up and you go, I'll have 2 tickets, please, and they'll give them to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's this awkward, like,
They
you
just
gonna-
stare at
No,
you.
it
yeah, You
wasn't.
gonna pay anything to me?
No, it really was.
And they're like, what an
I
asshole.
gave $5 a head but I was with 4 people.
Right.
And she's like, okay, here you go.
Nice. Well, okay, makes sense.
Little-
And that is another sculpture, painting,
Oh my God, it's all
pottery.
Yeah.
Just tell them to sell one of the paintings if they need some money.
There you go.
Over 2 million works spanning 5,000 years of art.
That'd probably take a couple hours to get through.
Oh, easy.
The coolest thing that I remember in there is that giant painting of George Washington crossing the Delaware, where he's kind of,
Oh, yeah.
with his fist.
That fit really good on that wall there.
That painting is enormous. It's probably 30 by 20.
All right, we have to cut it
Did
down.
you see the picture of our grandfathers here?
That's
Yeah.
nice.
And the number 1, and we all know what this one is, right? From Washington, D.C.,
Oh, yeah.
the Smithsonian Institution.
Yeah.
Well, they need to narrow that down.
Oh, yeah, the granddaddy of them
I've
all.
actually been to that one. Yeah.
Well, the Smithsonian is about 6 or 7 different museums.
Right. So
It's a vast complex of museums and research centers. The Smithsonian offers something for everyone with a diverse collection.
all right. Little technical glitch there.
We'll fix that.
All right. So you were talking about the lube, your lube.
The Louvre in Paris, France.
Oh,
Little
it's like a little KY
It's a
jelly.
famous art
Diddy
museum.
Oh,
You
Sean Puffy
heathen,
Combs.
maybe you've heard of this.
my bad. Sorry.
Yes.
But no, I was just going to comment that I've been to a number of art museums before, and after about 15 minutes, okay, I'm done.
Well, I've also, I
Yeah,
think
could see that.
there's some very impressive things, but then, like the Mona Lisa, my wife went there and she goes, Yeah, the thing is actually very small for one thing, and you got 1,000 people around it that want to look
Yeah.
at it.
And you're like,
you can't get
okay.
close.
Were they
to
trying
it.
to glue their hands to it?
Well, they're trying to take pictures of it. I'm like, just look at it online. Are you ever going to look at it on your phone? For one thing, it's
You're
probably
not allowed to. I don't think you're not allowed to take your phone out and take pictures of it. They don't want flashes of it. For
Oh,
some
I don't know.
reason.
I don't know, but that's
You
what.
can
That's
take a picture of it. You just can't use a flash.
yeah.
I guess
much-
I don't have much of
Appreciation.
an education on art and an appreciation of art. So
I don't know anything about it. I know the standards. You
the
know,
first
the Van
painting
Gogh,
looks like the 50th one. That
you
I'm
know, the
looking at.
Monet, the Van Gogh. I
I'd
know
like
some
to
of
see
those.
'em. I'd like to see him look at it. Look, they're masterpieces. Some of them.
Sure.
I mean, when you go and look, you can get really close. I kind of get caught up in the Ferris Bueller days of where they're at the museum out there in Chicago, and they're zooming in really close to this picture. I don't know if you recall which
Yeah, I
one I'm
remember
referring
that.
to, but it's just like they're so talented, those artists, and it's just crazy.
You have to have an appreciation for it, for sure.
I don't necessarily have an appreciation for it, but I would like to see if I did. I'd like to go there and see if I can get bored. I know if I was younger, I probably wouldn't have it, but now we
Where-
need to put this on the bucket list.
Yeah, where is Michelangelo's David? I'd like to see that.
That is in Florence, Italy.
Is that where that's at? Okay, I think that'd be. I think the sculptures.
That's quite a stretch for our podcast
Yeah.
Yeah.
excursion.
I
Although,
th-
if any of our listeners wants to fund,
Sponsor.
Because
yeah,
I
sponsor.
find it outside of the penis. I find it interesting how by hand they can carve that out of marble.
Did you just say penis?
Yeah,
did.
there's a penis hanging right there.
You use the P word. We don't use the P
But
word.
the
on
but the
podcast.
attention. Okay, prick. The
So you're saying the details going into the
well, these sculptures.
carving the veins on the penis.
Well, not I'm not gonna call that out, but
Please don't zoom in on it.
all the amount of detail that some of these sculptors could get with their hand and a chisel
He's got quite the merkin.
in out of marble
Well,
of all
I-
things.
It's amazing. Yes, it's amazing.
You know, and I've seen even more detailed. I mean, look at the hands. I mean, they're. You know, how long did it take him to get that detail?
Pretty damn real looking.
So
You know?
there's like if you take your pinky and you raise it up, okay, and specifically your pinky, it makes a little string of muscle that pops out on the back of your forearm,
Okay.
and they capture that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's an incredible talent to be able to do that and to know it's there. You know, and to capture all the veins going in the feet. And imagine when they are crafting these blankets or these silk covers over people where you could see the feature
Oh
under
yeah,
it.
yes,
That's amazing.
yeah.
I think
It
as
is.
art goes, I'm with you, Jeff. It seems like being a sculptor would be way more difficult than being a painter.
I would agree.
I would think because if you fuck up, you're like shit. His head just fell off.
I didn't realize how
You know.
big it is. Hold on, there's a woman like reaching over to do something. I had no idea it was that big.
Yeah, it's huge,
It is ginormous
and everything's in proportion.
Oh, he's
Mhm.
hung.
in proportion. Hmm.
You know, the head, the torso.
I
guys
thought I
are-
thought the testes were a little small.
You guys are focused on the peen, just like you were at when you looked at the Carpenter's video.
I took an art appreciation class in college, and the only thing that I remember from it was the guy said, when you're looking at a painting, and of course, if it is of a person, look at the person's hands.
Look at that.
If somehow the artist tries to hide the person's hand by tucking it under a blanket or in a coat or something like that, typically that painter is not very skilled because painting human hands is the most difficult part
thing.
of the
And
portrait.
can you imagine carving it? Did you see the close up that he just had on there of the hands?
It's
That-
perfect.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, they got the vein going across and the tendons. And the fingernail. I don't know. I find
cartilage
sculpture.
in the knuckles.
Yeah, I find sculpture more interesting than the actual paintings, to me anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I read that the model stood motionless for 4 years while he
Well, Michelangelo also did the Sistine Chapel, the ceiling, right?
I have seen that, and it is unbelievable.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
It is unbelievable.
Laying on his back for years
Yep.
up there. Like, suspended or on this
He was on scaffolding, I think.
rickety scaffold.
I think he had balloons, just kind of
Yep.
Oh, nice.
helium balloons.
Very nice.
That was who did that?
Same guy.
Is that
Michelangelo.
nah, who did the balloon? Who's the guy that dropped the feathers off the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Galileo. Does Galileo come up with the balloons? Who invented the balloons?
What are you talking about?
Da Vinci?
I
Balloons.
don't
Was it Da Vinci that did the hot air balloons?
Yeah, Da Vinci was another one who was even before this. He was
He did all sorts of stuff.
yeah, he was an inventor, and he studied the human body. He has the Vitruvian Man, the famous one that he made, and he studied the anatomy and everything, so he could get his
Is that
paintings
the guy
right.
in the circle?
Yeah, with all the arms and the legs and everything. The Vitruvian Man.
Jeff,
What are
I
we
think
looking
your lava lamp it's taking quite some
Your
time.
scrotum fell.
Yeah, my scrotum dropped.
Oh, is that what just happened?
Yeah, the scrotum dropped.
It's more of a butt plug.
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I've never really seen one, only in videos, very short videos, 15-second little splurps.
I always want to see a real butt plug. I don't want to see pictures of a butt plug.
Yes.
Right?
yes. Same deal.
takes away
Sean will bring one next
Hands
time.
on.
Yeah, that's what you look at.
I have a very small butthole. I don't think it wouldn't take a whole lot.
God. What the hell, man?
I mean,
We go from Mona Lisa to your butthole. How did
God
that
bless. I'll probably edit that one out.
I have a very small butt. Yes.
Well, speaking of places where buttholes can be in danger, how about the Alligator Alcatraz?
What is your thoughts on that?
You know what? I'm not exactly sure what the deal is on that. I mean, so they built it in the middle of nowhere, and the idea was if you even escape from this thing, you're going to be obviously eaten by
Alligators.
because it's like swampland for miles and miles and miles. What's the story behind
I think
it?
this is a detention center where they're going to put people until they have their due process, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
before they're
But there's more
deported.
to it. There's that's what they're going to do with it. But it was an airport.
It was a training airport. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there
and
was
they-
an existing runway and a
Correct.
few little rickety. You can pull it up on Google Maps and or Google Earth or whatever, and you can see it's about 50 miles west of Miami.
So this thing is a temporary.
It's a tent.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
a canvas tent with cages inside.
Okay. All right. So this was temporary housing that DeSantis said, hey, you can keep these guys here.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's in the middle of nowhere. We're surrounded by alligators in the Everglades, and it's nasty, and there's miles and miles and miles. If anyone escapes, they're probably not going to make it.
It almost seems like another PR move, right? You know how when they were sending people to El Salvador and they showed this beautiful, massive, scary-looking detention center, right? And so this is just another one of those. It's a big
I mean, it could
detention
be.
center.
But look, they wanted to they wanted a place to put people. It was on
Right.
the list. Hey, let's figure this out. They had a property. And they just repurposed it. It's like, why not? Let's put them out there.
I think
mean,
they
make it
worship.
functional.
I think they worshipped them to Guantanamo, and they were all up in arms about that.
Right.
So now they're like, all right, well, we're going to do this. Keep them here locally in a place that is, if they escape, it's going to be problematic, and they're not going to be there for years.
No.
It's going to be, short term. They're in a room with, bunk beds, and the Debbie, what's her name? Wasserman, whatever the fuck her name is.
Schultz.
Is just trying to make this thing, a human rights. And I'm thinking, well, what do you think a jail should be, right? Well, they have these little toilets that are part of a sink, and they brush their teeth. Well, yes, that's what a jail is. And I brush my teeth next to where I poop. It's not-
everybody does.
everybody does
Everybody
that,
does.
and
Unless you're a bazillionaire.
yeah, and you that's what you do. And she's trying to make this thing sound
Way worse. Than
Way
What,
worse than
Debbie,
it is.
Debbie Schultz was making it sound way worse.
Oh yes,
Oh, all
she was
the-
trying to.
all
She
the
was trying to.
Democrats. All the Democrats are freaking. They're all taking whatever opportunity they can to make it look like it's the most inhumane.
Well, ASC did the same
ever.
thing. I
Yeah.
mean, look, there they are right there. It's a column sitting off the side of the wall. It's got a shitter on the bottom and a sink on the top. It's functional.
I think it's convenient. You can pee while you're flossing.
Yes, and you're not drinking your shit water.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're
Or
trying
out
to.
of the toilet.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, it's clean water coming in. Just like you could drink the water out of the tank of your toilet if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it all comes from the same pipe
Yeah,
that comes into your house.
My dog does it.
Yeah, I mean, you can out of the tank. Once it hits the bowl, you know it's problematic. But I'm like, the question
lid.
needs to go. Okay, Debbie, what do you think a prison should look like? What should a jail look like? What
Again.
amenities should they have?
They're just taking a shot at trying to make the Trump administration seem savage.
Well,
That's
they
it.
are, but but I think it's actually helping deter some of these people to self-deport because she's saying how bad and terrible this place is.
Oh, right.
And people are going, maybe I don't want to be sent to this place. Maybe I do need to self-deport.
I have a cousin that works
Yeah.
for a company that does some kind of building material. I'm not entirely
So I can buy
clear
that for my
what it
house.
is. And
Oh, yeah.
he went there. He went to Alligator, Alcatraz, and I asked him, I said, well, how was it? He goes, man, it is really hot, and there's a lot of mosquitoes. And he said they're not going to make a fence around the compound like a typical prison would have with the coiled barbed wire at the top.
Yeah.
They're not putting a fence because, dude, they ain't nowhere to go.
Yeah, you choose to escape. You're on your own.
There's one road in and one road out.
Why was your friend there?
It was my cousin. He works for a company that was doing something with the construction, or I'm not entirely sure what his company is
Chuck,
doing.
go back
but
down
he
the
did-
street view.
He went there.
That sign said something about
Crazy.
dude.
And it is literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. They're
Oh, Dade.
Dade Collier. That's the point. If they happen to get out of there, they're either taking the road, which I'm sure there's checkpoints, or they're trying to cross swampland for
Well,
miles.
And extra convenience, there is an airstrip right there, so they can be deported or brought in very conveniently.
I don't know. I don't see what the hubbub is out. Who cares? It's just a prison. You got Alcatraz was kind of similar. They didn't do shit
Well,
about
this
that.
really, I wouldn't even consider this a prison. This is a detainment center, just like they have down in South Texas, where they have these big buildings where they house 20 people to a big room.
Yeah.
Right?
It
It's the
has
same
gotten-
thing.
It has gotten all sorts of hubbub in the news.
Well, I
It
think
doesn't
the
mean
main-
that AOC isn't going to go cry there at the
Yeah.
fence.
right.
I think the fact that
Oh,
Trump
Lord.
did it and the name they're giving it, Alligator, Alcatraz,
Oh, it sounds so
and
fantastic.
Trump is just
brilliant.
Trump is just pushing their buttons, and
100%.
they are biting at it.
And like you said, he's trying to drum up people being scared to be sent there.
Yeah,
Scared straight, right?
self-deport. You won't go there.
Self-deport.
You won't have to experience this.
No, well, and I'm not super. I mean, I'm happy with this, but I'm not happy with some of the other stuff that's going on with us bombing Iran and building bases in Israel. I mean, I didn't vote for any of that stuff. I thought we were going to stop all this war shit. I have my opinions about what we should be focusing on. I don't want to talk about it right now, but we need to make our country good. I don't want to be bombing them. Why did we need to bomb Iran?
To keep them from developing a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
That's problematic.
That's problematic.
Yeah, but why
Which
did
would-
we have to do it?
which would have
Because
disrupted.
nobody else
the only one
has
with the bunker.
those bombs.
That's right. We're the only ones that
we
had
are the only ones who had them.
the bunker buster bombs, yes.
I don't know, man.
Iran having a nuclear weapon and potentially using it in the future would disrupt the entire Middle East.
Yep.
And when that happens,
I agree. they don't-
oil gets all screwed up.
I agree.
That's what it's all
They
about.
don't
Oil.
need Iran having the bomb, but I just didn't want us to do it.
Yeah,
I let somebody else do it.
Well, no
I'm
one
tired
else.
of fighting other people's wars. I'm tired of paying money to do that kind of stuff.
I
And
thought
let's
it was-
stay the hell out of. We're going to go to arms with Ukraine right now. We're with Ukraine. We're about to join in with them and to prevent Putin. And I'm
Well, I think
No,
we're
no.
selling them weapons.
Yeah, no, yeah. He
It-
no.
but
Wait a
the point
minute.
is-
Wait a minute.
it's the same.
Trump is selling weapons to NATO, so we get revenue from those
Yeah.
sales, and
He's
NATO is going to give this to Ukraine.
And
He's
Europe,
Tony Starking it.
yeah, and he's
that's
and he's,
good. That's Tony Stark in it.
and he's
But
telling
still.
and he's telling Europe, you need to do this so we don't have to. And Europe is
Yes.
starting to step up. And
It's
Europe
in your
is starting to do it.
backyard.
And Europe is agreeing with them
They are.
at this point.
He's actually getting them to do what they should be doing,
Correct.
which is building up their defense, spending more money on their defense, and being ready for war as a deterrent. This is all a deterrent.
We've got some stuff that we've built up with Ukraine as far as one of the agreements that we have with their precious metals and some of their natural minerals that they have there. And so, yeah, we have an invested interest that we want to protect. So, yeah, with that, maybe we ought to I don't know. You going to have boots on the ground to protect those areas? Or are we just going to
No.
take their overall proceeds of what they're selling their ship for?
I don't think that was Trump's motivation. I mean, yes, he wants the precious metals simply because he wants some sort of compensation for everything we've given to them.
Got to have a deal.
Yeah, he needs some deal to we're giving him billions in weaponry, right? So he's like, okay, well, then we should get some of your precious metals, which is a contentious issue with China right now. I think the biggest thing is he's trying to get Putin to stop the aggression, right? And Putin is playing him.
I think
so-
Putin realizes he's near the end of his life, and this is his legacy. And if he backed off now, he'd be
It's going
seen
to look bad.
in Russia. He'd be seen as a big P.
Yep, he'd be weak.
I don't think so. That may be his thought process. In his mind, it might be right, but I think that the people in Russia probably don't agree with that. I think the people there would be like, hallelujah, he's done.
Correct. I think you may be right, but the
It's hard to know.
him and probably a lot of his senior military folks, the hardcore Russian folks are in on this.
I
thing.
would agree. I think it's split. It's probably split in that
Yeah.
country.
Did
They
you-
see him as strong, and they love the fact that he wants to reunite the mother country and, Russia, right? So I don't know.
One thing I saw, because Russia just obliterated some Ukraine with 700 drones, right?
Right.
And I heard on the radio today there was a guy who he's over there on the ground, and these drones, and the guy asked, he goes, well, don't they have radio jammers to make these so they can lose control? He's like, yeah. Well, how they've gotten around that is fiber optics.
Yes.
What they're doing is they're tying a fiber optic to all of these drones, and they have spools of miles of fiber
Wow.
optics, and they can go 20 kilometers trailing this fiber optic as this guy is connected to it and
That's
going straight
amazing.
in. So
That's
they
amazing.
bypass any radio jammers
Yeah,
or
there's
anything
no
like
RF
that.
frequency at all.
Yeah, so there's no RF frequency, and he goes, so what's happening is you have miles of fiber optic everywhere, and you have these huge spools. He goes, it's actually creating an environmental problem
I bet.
because you have all of this fiber optic cable laying
Millions of it.
everywhere.
Millions of miles
Like
of it.
spider webs laying all over the
Yep.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fishing line everywhere.
Because
Yeah.
it's a temporary, it's a one-use deal, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you go out, 15, 20 miles, and you have all this shit just laying there.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even realize that. I didn't think it was practical for them to be able to do that.
Yep, they're doing it. That's how they're getting around
And
the
it's
jammers.
the wires everywhere. Fiber optic cable everywhere.
Yeah, I also saw something today that the U.S. military has a new weapon to combat that. It's a big, humongous microwave. Looks like a big square thing, and it shoots out this huge thing of microwaves that fries the electrical components of incoming drones.
Yep, they'll find
Yeah, but
something.
where the hell are you going to get one of those? It's not like you have a pocket microwave. That's
No,
gonna,
the company makes them.
Right.
My point is,
The military has
you've
them.
got hundreds of miles of stuff. How many? You're going to need hundreds of those.
No, they're
thousands
on,
of those.
Well, they're on ships. They're at key locations. Yes, it doesn't help you or
Yeah,
me.
they're protecting particular,
Yes. So the military has them. They're not consumer where you can put one on your house in case someone decides to. There it is, right there. And
unbelievable.
yeah, that thing right there, and it shoots out this huge microwave thing that just fries. If there's 100 of them coming, then if it's in their wave, it kills them. Right
we
there.
are
There's going to be a lot of what is it called, the damage on the side, because imagine all the electronics
Yep.
that aren't involved in that. You're sitting there with your cell phone, all of a sudden, you just fried my freaking cell phone.
Well, it's better that
We-
than getting a bomb in the face.
we are experiencing an acceleration of military weaponry and technology, and I mean this Ukrainian-Russian war is a glimpse into the future.
I think drone warfare
Is going to
is
be the key.
Do you think Putin knows how funny sounding his last name is?
It may not sound funny in Russian. Maybe it sounds cool.
No,
What are you doing? I'm Putin.
in Russia is Putin.
Right?
Let's not do that.
Probably not.
If he was in middle school in the United States, he would have got teased all day long.
When you say you thought he was close to end of life, there's rumors that he has cancer. There's rumors that
When
he
I say that, he's
has
he's just
kidney
old.
failure.
It's just age,
Oh,
right?
okay,
So he's
okay,
probably within 5-10 years of
Because
his,
there is
of his life.
rumors that he is has some disease or something. I wasn't sure if you had
No,
read something
I'm
about
just
that
thinking. I'm
recently.
just thinking age.
And
He's-
they wouldn't
I got
release
you.
that anyways.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Hell,
They-
he's
they
got
totally wouldn't.
doubles. He lives in like these lavish bunkers everywhere. It's just crazy. You know what I saw when you were talking about that microwave thing? Unrelated, but related. I saw these advertisements for these lasers that shoots mosquitoes in your backyard.
I saw that. I want one of those.
I saw it too. I was like, I don't care how much that costs. I want one.
It shoots lasers in your backyard.
Yes.
I forgot what it was. It's shaped like a pistol kind of thing.
It
Or, I
was
don't
this
remember.
little turret that sits on a
Oh, that's
on a
right. Yeah, yeah.
thing, and it's
Is
like,
that sounds safe to you guys?
hey man, these things don't require a whole lot of power to kill a mosquito.
So if you stand in front of it, it's not going to go.
I don't think.
Or
not gonna
or
burn
right into your eyeball,
Yeah.
I mean,
What if you're out there playing cornhole or something?
and then suddenly somebody turns on this thing, and you're blind and you're impotent.
So it's a tabletop device that obviously sits on a table, and it somehow senses where a mosquito is and
mosquito laser defense system.
can
That-
recognize the mosquito, and the technology knows where it is, and it
Yes.
it lasers it out of the air.
it differentiates
That is so great.
between you and the dog, and
Yeah.
it knows what it's looking at.
So it's a mosquito Iron Dome.
Look at that.
That's exactly what it is.
That is amazing.
You're watching a video of it. It's just
I wonder how fast it can go, because there's sometimes where you have lots of mosquitoes out there.
Oh,
Is it going to rapid fire
It'd be
like?
going crazy.
like
I mean,
Patriot
it
missile
just
type
takes
shit?
power. Can you imagine that? That would be. But I thought that was incredible.
I'm calling bullshit to some level here. It's
Hey,
probably
man.
it's probably like really, really inefficient. It's probably 1 out of 100 that it actually hits.
Well,
I mean,
it's one
it'll get
less.
better. It'll get better, I'm sure. But
How much are these things? Do you find it on what is it? Amazon?
It's at Costco, $69.99.
It's $10. No,
yeah,
I think it's
they-
just an experiment.
Yeah, they may not be.
it's got to
ready.
be an experiment.
Well, we need to get to our bourbon that
Oh, we do.
that our guest Larry actually brought.
All right.
This is well, you brought it, Larry. Do you want to kind of mention what this is?
Yeah. What led you to this buy?
First of all, as we said at the beginning of this segment, this is my fourth or fifth visit with you guys, and you have been very generous in the past with sharing your bourbons with the tastings that we had, and I started to feel like a little bit of a mooch. So I thought it's time for me to pony up. So I brought along this bourbon. It's called Bank Street. Sean had sent me a list of the 248 bourbons that you guys have tested in the past, because I didn't want to bring one
I
that
don't
you
even
had.
know. That's
good
updated.
call.
I didn't want to bring one that you'd already tried. you
Yeah.
know? I wanted to bring a new one. So it was a bit of a struggle to kind of cross-reference the liquor store list versus what you
I bet.
had on your list. And I found this one, Bank Street Bourbon. It is advertised as a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Okay.
Now, on the label, it says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. But after some research that we did on this, we find that it's made in New Jersey.
Well, it's bottled in New Jersey.
Bottled in New Jersey.
So the juice is made in Kentucky. They bought it from somebody like Bardstown or someone like that. So it's distilled in Kentucky.
I don't know what the rules and regulations are to be able to label something as Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
I leave that to you, expert
Yeah, it has to
guys.
be. It's distilled in Kentucky. I don't know.
and barreled.
And barreled, but it's usually it could be aged a little bit in New Jersey, but it's typically bottled. It's a company in New Jersey who bought some barrels from some Kentucky distillery, and they went and probably picked them and says these are fantastic. I want to bottle this, and they can buy them and they call it whatever they want.
So
I
I
would
pulled it up.
imagine-
I pulled it up on the internet, and there were quite a few reviews, and it was reviewed quite highly. So I thought,
Sure.
okay, I'll
All
give
right.
it a go.
There you go.
So I stopped by the liquor store this morning, and this bottle of bourbon is $32. Okay, so
Right.
Nice.
not super expensive,
Sure.
but not the bottom of the barrel. No
Right.
pun intended.
Yeah,
Right.
no. And I would imagine back to that. I would imagine a lot of people. It's distilled. It's probably barreled. It's probably fully aged. Like 100% of that process in Kentucky, and I bet you they put it on trucks. They ship it to New Jersey, and then they have the only thing they have there is the bottling facility.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
right.
think
That would be what I would guess. I
Well,
would bet you they
it
would
says
never age it.
Regent. Where's Regent Distillers Products Company from? So Regent Distillers Products Company is supposedly
It's
the
in New
distiller.
Jersey. It said down at the bottom.
So these guys, this is aged for 5 years. It's got it's a light. It's 80 proof. So for
Scobyville.
our palate, it's super easy to drink.
Yeah.
It's tasty. It's light.
Lots of vanilla. It's sweet.
very smooth.
Yeah, it's
very
very
sweet.
very smooth.
It's very sweet.
There's some sweetness. There's some vanilla. The caramels. It's a very
I think it works well.
stereotypical bourbon.
Crushable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crushable. Something you could put in a old fashioned
Oh yeah,
or a
that'd be good.
Manhattan.
Yes.
It's probably perfect. It's one of those that is actually the perfect juice for an old fashioned or Manhattan.
yeah. It's
I'm
very-
getting some chocolate flavor out of this. I like this a lot. I like
yeah.
it.
For an 80 proof, it's been a long time. We had an 80 proof not too long
It's
ago.
been a
The
while.
Gentleman Jack.
1922.
Yeah. No, we had the Gentleman Jack. I think is 80, isn't it?
No, it might be. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, Larry. We're snobs. And it's
Yeah,
like
I know you are.
We
I
don't
would-
really. It's
It
like
was a challenge.
80 proof
Correct.
is kind of outside the scope, so it's kind of refreshing when we get to sample something like
Yeah,
this
sure.
because it's very, like as Chuck said, from the horse neck guys, they say it's crushable, meaning you can drink it,
Right.
and we can drink this
Like a lot of it.
We could kill that bottle.
Yeah.
easily.
Oh yeah.
We already drank half of it almost. Anyways, it's great.
It's
Thank
good.
you for bringing.
I think
Yeah,
it is
thank
too.
you for bringing
yeah,
it.
you
Yeah.
are more than welcome.
Yeah, it's actually very good. I would recommend this bourbon. Definitely.
So Bank Street Bourbon, aged for at least 5 years, offers a complex flavors profile with notes of charred oak, vanilla, brown sugar, and hints of caramel. It's Kentucky straight bourbon, crafted with mashed bill of corn, rye, barley, and malt. Smooth finish with a mix of enjoyable, neat on the rocks cocktails like old fashioned and/or Manhattans.
Yeah, and it's aged of a minimum 5 years, so that's not too bad.
I will say this. So a lot of times we've tried an 80 proof, and we really didn't get much of anything from it. But I got to give this some credit. There is flavor on the
Right.
On the front and back.
on the front and on the back. So
Yeah.
I mean, and you got to give it the 5 year age
Right.
Yeah, I'm drunk.
is what brings to that.
Well,
So
you had about half that bottle.
you did. He was like, "Oh my god, this is so crushable." Glug 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 glug.
I think
I gave
think
you
I
half of mine.
I think I saw one of their ads when I was researching them. I think I saw one of their ads, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it basically said, okay, we get it. We're in New Jersey, and this is a Kentucky bourbon, and New Jersey is not exactly known
Right.
in the bourbon world, but
Right.
give us a try, and we think
Nice.
you'll be happy.
Is New Jersey known for any kind of alcohol?
Not that I know of,
I
but
don't
I'm sure,
know.
I'm sure it has some local
Prison wine.
local stuff.
I
illegal
don't
illegal alcohol?
I mean, I
probably.
don't think a lot of states. I mean, Kentucky's known for bourbon. I can't think of really any other state that's known. Hey, yeah, vodka's really good out of Tennessee or whatever.
Wine.
Right.
Yeah, Montana vodka.
Yeah.
And
I'll say also it's a good price point. I mean, if this bourbon were in the $50-$60 range, I'd be like, for $50-$60, you can get something way better.
right.
But for $30, it's
Mhm.
good. It's a good
Yeah.
bourbon.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, cool. Well, thanks again for bringing it.
Well, I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah,
and,
I'm enjoying
and,
it.
And again, thank you for inviting me here, and this is a lot of fun.
Cool.
So New Jersey is home to growing a number of distillers producing a variety of spirits, vodka, gin, blah blah blah. Award-winning like Jersey Apple, Hooch,
Ooh, hooch.
High
Hooch.
Point Rye Whiskey. We've heard High Point.
No, we have High West.
Shit.
I don't think we've tried High Point.
Other notable distilleries at Asbury Park. I grew up right there. Asbury Park, right on the
It's the greatest place in the world.
It
Uh,
is.
now
It's
do-
God's country.
Isn't the Northeast better known for like ciders and things like that?
Like
Probably.
beers and ciders, probably,
Yeah.
They got Jersey Spirits Distilling,
and cheese.
Asbury's Cheese, Claremont Distilling,
And Architeuthis.
Yes.
the Pine Tavern Distillery, Milk Street Distillery. That sounds kind of.
I bet
Milk.
you now that there's been an explosion of whiskeys, I bet you every state is
Well, there's a
kinda like
lot
Texas,
There's over
right?
a dozen
Texas.
listed.
Well, there's a lot of NDPs because that's what the bourbon industry kind of turned into. Everyone was buying barrels from either MGP or Bardstown.
Well, that's the fastest way to get into it.
Well, it is, and bourbon was huge. I mean, it still is, but it was huge all through COVID, and so you had all these people going, "Let's start our own. We can buy barrels and just name it what we want.
But
and Rare Character is a great example, but I think they're
they go
on
a
the
step
cusp
beyond.
of jumping the shark.
Could be.
And I hate to say it, Rare Character, you're on the cusp of jumping the shark because a lot of stuff you're coming out with is just, it's still, we haven't opened that bottle.
Right.
And we've got a couple bottles to open them. I have 2. So
Yeah.
probably need to bring those over.
So
it did come to mind that as I was walking through the bourbon aisle at the liquor store today, my God, there's a lot of bourbons.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what it is.
It's saturated for sure.
I think it's oversaturated. It's kind of like I think the beer industry, the craft beer industry got, and it's ridiculous how many different little breweries and types of beer are out there. I think it got oversaturated. It did for me anyway. I tried everything that was around at the time, and I got tired of it.
Yeah. Well, you and I, that was the hunt.
Yeah.
What the hell are we going to drink next? I want the highest proof. I think we settled on Bigfoot, which was a malt barley or malt. It was a malt wine, a barley wine.
Barley wine.
It's a barley wine.
Yeah, that.
Well-
and there was some Firestone stuff that was pretty hardy. The Velvet Merkin.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, what a great name,
Velvet
though.
Merkin.
Yes.
Now that I know, you know.
Well, I will say this. Like you said, it's saturated. There's so many on the shelves, but there's hundreds that are out there that are not
on the shelf.
That are not even on the shelf.
Larry had
Meaning they can't even get to the distributor.
Correct.
You know what I
Larry
mean?
had to jump out and get his Bird Dog peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah, as I was shopping around, I found this little airplane size it's a bourbon called Bird Dog, and it's peanut butter flavored. And Sean, you tell me that you guys have already sampled some peanut butter bourbon before.
yeah.
I'd never heard of it, and I took a hit out of it. I got to tell you, I kind of like it.
It's tasty.
It's pretty
it's
good.
fun. It is fun.
Yeah, when you want to get blown up quickly, and it's very tasty.
Let me tell you something. We had a choice of this, and he was going to bring something called Buzz Balls, and I was kind of
I didn't know what this was.
that's like diabetes in a can, those little Buzz Balls.
All right.
They're good though. All right, well, the first half
we're
of the
wrapping
Dudes Like Us podcast, it's July 15, 2025. Thank you, Chuck, Mr. Producer, staying on top of shit as you normally do. Our first half guest, Mr. Larry, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Fourth
guys.
or fifth tour, I don't even know, but it's fun every single time you're here. Thank you.
It is.
Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Larry.